Mate, we cover it all this weekend.
It's all well covered. Definitely. That's what we do. We're thorough. Everything that you could possibly hope for in a podcast with regards to horse racing, very specifically in Australia, is right here.
Well, if you want to go even more specific than that, we've got Moonee Valley. We have Randwick. And we cover extensively the first race at Doomben.
We do. It's just some stars in the making in that race. Certainly not well exposed horses, that's for sure. Yeah, look, all jokes aside, we've got 2 horses racing in Doomben this weekend. So, find out more.
And one of them, you won't believe, you'll have to wait and listen, but you will not believe the subsequent winners out of his races. I absolutely nearly fell off my chair when I read that out.
The hottest form in the Sunshine State, without a doubt.
Yeah. But if you're going to have a little bit of a dabble on those races, where would you do something like that?
Oh, with the good people at Ned's, that's for sure. Thanks again. Another spring with the good people at Ned's. Appreciate your support. You can do everything that you want with them. You can go weird and exotic, which is how we're going to be playing some races this weekend. You can also look at the profiles on Ned's. We've got ours. We share our tips up on there. You can follow us and, comment on them. We'll get your thoughts. We're open to criticism, as always.
Yeah, well said.
Let's go.
But what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Mr. Brightside spins them up and wins again. Zardozi wins the Oaks for J-Mac. The photo finish. Mr. Brightside or Romantic Warrior. The mare's going. Great guns. Fangirl. Look at her go. Fangirl. Imperatrice has got her. And raced on by Imperatrice by a leg.
Overpass. More Baker's Delight in Perth.
Radina just won it, I'd say. Tom Kedden won the spring champion in a cakewalk. Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup.
We have a lot to discuss today.
We do.
A lot.
Yeah.
But before any of that, I just want to give you a bit of an insight that I've had recently. You might have seen that I got a haircut yesterday morning.
Yeah, actually, my apologies, didn't comment on it.
That's okay.
I thought it looked good though.
Hey, we see each other so often.
Yeah.
That's
good.
all right. But what I am noticing when I go to the barber more and more each time.
Oh no.
Is I look down and I can't see it when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, but I look down, there is significantly more salt and pepper. Where is it coming from? Because I don't see it. And it's like, in particular, it's like when they do the sides, they shave that off first. And I look down, I'm like, huh? I'm like, where? I can't see that in the mirror.
Mate, it's, I hate to break it to you, but I look at your old man and I'm thinking, he's still got a full head of hair, Papa Hutch, but they ain't a single coloured one on there.
No, mate.
And it's been that colour since I've known him.
It's not grey now, it's white.
Yeah.
Like, he's a white-haired man. And I did ask him, because I've only known him with grey hair.
Yeah.
Like, he had me when he was quite older, like he was 39.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I asked him, like, when did you start going grey? He's like, oh, yeah, mid-30s. I'm like,
you're right on the precipice of that. Man, I'm the same. I've got some flecks coming through, and I think because my hair is like quite a light sort of brown, you don't notice it as much. But there's definitely some grey coming in.
Yeah, Prue's she likes to like go like, oh, here's another one, and then she like rips it out of my head. Some of them are like white, mate. Like like they're so white, like St. George white.
St. George white. Yeah, okay. See, for me, like, going grey, don't give a shit.
Me neither.
I don't care at all. I'm more concerned about the hairs in my head existing. And if they exist but are grey, happy with that. My concern is the receding hairline and the thinning crown of my head, which, I'm nearly 32, mate. So I think I've just got to come to terms with the fact that I'm not going to have a luscious head of hair. In fact, probably going to have quite the opposite for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
unfortunately, unless I get plugs.
That is an option.
That'd be a funny journey to go through on the podcast.
I reckon if you have like a Pericles style, bet of the century type of operation, and you declare it's like, all right, if this thing loses, I'm getting a hair plug. Funded by the podcast, of course.
Imagine that. Imagine going to the tax man or the
the accountant lady in our circumstance, in our situation, and saying like, what's this 10 grand? It's going on the business.
What are these flights to Turkey?
How are you claiming that? Really? For a business expense? Yeah, it was an experiment that we did on the podcast. It was a losing bet.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's not completely far-fetched.
No, it's not. But I guess what that is, it's an indicator that time is not slowing down.
Time's not slowing down. And, like with experience, comes wisdom, you would like to think. And we were taught some lessons yesterday.
Oh, in spades
Some experienced punters.
One in particular. And you know what? Drifters? Yesterday was a lesson of when the hour of power strikes, you got to strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.
It was an unbelievable punting display yesterday.
It was.
He actually has a question.
Does he?
Yeah. If you go to a marine store and ask for a Pericles, what would you get? I think that's in reference to if the bet was to win, there's like a Sydney Harbour kind of situation going there where it's a boat.
Yeah.
Boat situation with the stable.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you, Craig.
Yeah.
Hell of a day.
A hell of a day, yeah. It was a fun day at the track yesterday. And started off with our girl, the second at Portsea. She ran super.
She did. And tactical speed, which I wasn't.
Justin Huxtable, you can retain the right.
Yes, you can.
Now, he's a tall man for a jockey.
I couldn't believe what I was saying.
He'd be not 6 foot, but
he's in Jamie Mott areas.
Jamie Mott is undefeated in terms of length and girth when it comes to jockey
and jawline, mate.
And jawline,
because he has no fat on him.
He can't have an iota of fat on him.
No.
And with all due respect, Jamie, he's actually a vegan as well. And he looks like it. Like, with all due respect, Jamie, like a very gaunt man. And which I understand, and I appreciate all the hard work you put into to be able to ride horses, mate, because you're a tall man, so it must be tricky. But going back to Justin Huxtable, got into a nice position, and she just wasn't running down those leaders. First run in a month, stepping up to 2,000 metres for the first time. Yeah, she's just a reliable horse down there.
She is. She pays for herself well and truly.
Well and truly.
And I guess count as stablemates with the Waller pair, they were by far the superior horses in the mounting yard. They were the only one you wanted to be on.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Definitely. And it was a shame that Counter was scratched with an elevated temperature during the week.
Because he was the number one seed.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think I would have been shocked watching that race unfold yesterday if he didn't run top 3.
Yeah. If he
behaved himself.
He most likely would have sat outside Portsea.
Yeah.
And then he would have gone, probably would have gone see a girl.
Yeah. Probably.
Which, I think, but I think they'll, as the rest of these middle distance horses in Brisbane do, they'll meet again in the Toowoomba Cup or something.
Yeah, exactly. As Moz was saying of Muggs punting fame, he said, these guys will just beat up on each other for the next 6 months. I said, too right.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 in that pool of horses. So, we're every chance to just R&P the benchmark 70s through till 84s in Brisbane for the foreseeable.
And you know what I don't want to miss an opportunity for? Is putting the boots into Morphettville and the state of South Australia. Because there was
dross, isn't it?
There was a 1,900 metre race. There were 6 horses. I'm like, mate, why don't we send Portsea down there? She'd win that on
She would win that, yeah.
Then I looked at the prize money. I'm like, oh, that's why we're going to send her down there. It was like 40 grand.
You literally, as the race is unfolding, your horse is losing money for you. She could win the race. And you're like, well, the entire affair of sending her down there actually costs more than winning this race. It's dross, mate.
Oh,
South Australia.
Honestly.
It is absolute dross.
So I think the state of Queensland and their racing jurisdiction and their whole racing operation, I think it's in a really great place.
We can hold our head high, I think. And we give Doomben a bit of slack, and rightly so. But those sweets are delightful.
Yes.
It's a delightful day in there.
A tremendous platter of condiments, accoutrements.
Yes, there was.
It was good stuff.
But also drifters Hutcho and I are having a little bit of a joke. What are we expecting from this? What sort of food is going to be served up in this suite? And I think we nailed it.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some sliders of some description. There's going to be some pies or quiche of some description. What I didn't anticipate, and neither did you, the lamb chops.
We've been in I thought they were Eagle Farm exclusive. That's why
They were not Eagle Farm exclusive.
But I'd say they probably have, because Eagle Farm's out of action at the moment. But I think it's coming in for a swift return soon.
It is, yeah.
So I reckon the catering staff might have just been the Eagle Farm staff for that day. They knew the UNU recruitment had the that sweet. They're like, we're bringing out the big dogs.
Did. Juicy,
Yeah,
tender, perfectly cooked.
tzatziki.
That's a good name for a horse.
Tzatziki. Oh, just name after condiments. Mustard.
Tommy sauce.
Yeah.
Worcestershire.
Relish.
Aioli. Boo. Balsamic.
It was a good day at the track. And we were, as a group, we had a few varying interests as we looked interstate, I guess. And the Moir Stakes was a fascinating contest because there was a number of winners in the race for different reasons. All we needed was Lady of Camelot to place for one significant multi to get up,
and she got there by bees.
And I declared it to that said person. I'm like, mate, you've got home there. He's like, you reckon? I'm like, yes, mate. And she's got home by 0.2 of a length over Estriella, Lady of Camelot, into third.
Oof.
But one Luke Jones, unbelievable punting performance yesterday.
Yeah.
Mornington Glory.
I think to his own surprise as well. Shout out to Luke Jones. I said to him, I was like, I have a favourite punter and he'll never be dethroned as my favourite punter. And he knows who he is. I tell you what, Luke Jones is climbing up the ranks rapidly. He's just funny with it. He's like, oh, I got a trifecta there. It's just the shock in his voice. He's just like, you forget to put that on. Like, you forgot that, you put that on. Sorry, it's so funny. So yeah, Mornington Glory, well done to him. And you know what? I think what we learned from that, and same with the sort of Pericles race, is Mornington Glory. Well, he is a Group 1 horse now, but he's not typically a Group 1 horse, right? But he was fourth up in that race. There was a lot of things first up with bigger fish to fry. And the setup for him, specifically for that race, was the right one. And we probably didn't pay him the respect that he deserves.
Hey, I had him in my numbers. Because I am actually looking at all these. I think he was the only one that wasn't first up. Like, Hayasugi, super run. She was fantastic.
She was good.
She was first up. Lady of Camelot, Estriella, I Wish I Win, Coleman, Johnny Rocco, Chain of Lightning, Cabalus. They were all first up. So, yeah, each way play, he was probably the one.
Yeah, he probably was.
Yeah, but Gavin Bedggood, first Group 1.
Yep.
Good to see.
Good to see. Back-to-back weeks in Victoria, Enver, and then Gavin.
Now, Josh Buttonshaw, he has a couple of things that we've kind of gone into because he's our podcast representative for the Snowden team.
The Snowden.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he was like, any chance of giving the battlers like some chances in the Group 1s, apart from Waller and Kieran Maher? I'm like, well, the last couple they kind of have. Yeah. It's good to see.
It's good to see. It's great to see.
Yeah.
Great for the sport. And you know, you just need one good one. No, yeah, it was I'm not shocked by the result, I would say. But also like I wasn't overly keen on Estriella. Like she was my on top selection, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, she wins this, you know? I thought she ran well enough. I thought Lady of Camelot ran well enough.
Yeah, Lady of Camelot, I think she might get better. She was friendless. She was like $3 favourite, and then she started $5. So I think she ran very well considering that. The market wanted to spit her out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, she looked gone on the turn, but then she just kept
rallied.
She freedom rallied, which was good to see. So, yeah, Moonee Valley, though. There's a few nice winners there as well.
Yes, the victim had a good day out at the Valley.
Pericles.
Pericles was, he was very short, but rightly so. Like you could get like $2.30 during the week, and that's jam.
Yeah.
He put him to the sword.
2.5 lengths. A fantastic return by one of the pin-up horses for this podcast, Miramasa. That was a sensational return.
Which is great. It's good to see him racing well.
Because Moonee Valley's not his track.
And nor is that distance. 1,500 metres.
Get him to Flemington, 2,400 metres, potentially even a Caulfield. I reckon he'll be in a finish at a big price.
Lightly weighted with a dry deck, Miramasa. It could feature.
He could feature after that. I'm really pleased to see that.
Good friend of the podcast.
Because his trials have been not good. No good.
Just dross. Pure dross.
Now, public attention epi meals in the Mackenzie Stakes, they were pretty average, I would have thought.
Pretty average. Maybe it will be better out over further, but I think Angel Capital's the one you take out of it. The stable had the hugest opinion of him, and they still do, obviously, but as a 2-year-old, he won on debut. Then came up to Queensland, and you could say he probably failed based on the expectations, but they always said he was going to make a nicer 3-year-old. He's the one you want to take out of it. Is he going to beat up on the Sydney Colts in a Caulfield Guineas? I doubt it. But it's good for Clinton McDonald to have a nice colt in his camp.
I agree with everything you said.
It was a good win. Jay Carr back into some form.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Ben Mellum.
Ben Mellum, sorry. Was that who was on Angel Capital? Oh, I thought Jamie Carr would have been.
No.
What am I thinking? Oh, she was on Hayasugi maybe for Clinton McDonald.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
My mistake.
No, it's all right, mate. We all make mistakes, you know. Sil Marillion.
Yes, fantastic.
She was the class filly in the race. And she kind of proved it.
Despite being a maiden.
Yeah, she absolutely brained him. Arkansaw Kid was dross.
He was dross. Like, I was really thinking that he was probably going to be offered an Everest slot after that race. How's that? I'm going to call that out. That's preposterous from the Hayes team during the week.
Honestly, like, you can throw darts, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But you absolutely have to back it up.
Yeah.
And you have to own it when you get it wrong,
Yeah.
I reckon, as well. Otherwise, you're just the stable that cry wolf. It's like, I'm not gonna believe anything you say anymore.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, Mr. Brightside's flying. Is he?
Is he?
I don't know. It's like, yeah, what a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah. Well, Yeah.
The Everest picture, we were saying yesterday, it is
murky.
A more intriguing Everest that I can remember because I think it's a very even bunch this year.
The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking it's going to be a 3-year-old, like a growing empire, or it's going to be one who hasn't featured in the Everest before, and top of that tree is Jolly Star. Like, that return was sensational, and if she improves out of that, she'll be hard to beat.
Yes, mate,
and very hard to beat.
But what about the runs of like Big Red asked? He did. This is literally
the Big Red.
I wish I win. That's it.
Is that all he said?
All he said. I wish I win. Interpret that.
Look, he ran exactly how we thought he was going to run.
Super.
But he wasn't going to win that race.
It was a Group 1 trial.
It was.
Like, he has bigger fish to fry. And it's good to see that Luke is... Oh, surely he retains the ride.
Luke Jones? About the chat yesterday about jockey weights, and we were sort of talking about Zayret carrying 65 kilos.
Oh my God.
And I said, I just need to lose 20 kilos and I could ride him. And Big Red said, I'd have to cut myself in half. It'd be half of me riding on the horse. Which half? Do you go horizontal or vertical when you cut me? I don't know. Either way is a grim picture.
Yeah, it is. That was funny. That was funny. I forgot about that.
I wish I win. No, he's going to feature in that Everest top 4. You would imagine.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, it's going to be $3. So it's like, do I want to Kendrick Lamar style dive right in? I don't think so. But you know, I'll probably be looking for the up and comer, as you kind of said, and I guess like. Let's have a look at Randwick then, because I feel like that Concord Stakes asked more questions than it actually answered.
Yeah, yes.
I am me. She can do this. She can pop up and out of nowhere, and I think she runs pretty well fresh. As you know, market loved her. 480.
Yeah.
Barrier 2, likely to go forward. Rail was on at Randwick.
Greyhound track. It was a tough day in Sydney yesterday.
It was, and the source had an absolute stinker. I'll have a word to him. But there was a question, just aside from that, about the track. Nick Scala actually wasn't in there because it was too long. I've seen slower travellators at Tullamarine Airport than it was in Sydney in the inside 3 lanes today. Any danger of the good people at Randwick giving the horses and, by extension, the punters an even playing field? It's a solid question.
He's got a case and they've got to answer it.
To be fair, though, and I like to shift the blame away from myself more than anyone, but I did say at the start of the day, and did I adjust? Probably not.
No.
I did say Rail's out 6. I have a feeling the Rail might be on today. Good track, just hard to make ground out
Tailwind.
wide. Yeah, tailwind. So it's probably I'm of the opinion that I need to just like adjust a bit better in those situations. And if you see something early, then it's like, whatever. And then it's like you just adjust your staking later in the day. So it's like, even though the market loved Daft Cabin, like you probably halve or quarter your bet in that situation because of where he's going to get in the run.
Yeah, but great minds. I think bro had literally like he had value plays at $3. He tipped the favourite in nearly every race in Sydney. I don't think he got a single winner. But it was tough though.
His value bet at Moonee Valley, David Gately, was La Zebra at $3.50.
$3.50.
And it ran second last.
And who won by a length? Nails Murphy at $4.50.
Honestly, come on.
Honestly. Give the victim the keys to the fucking kingdom. Give Miss Aria the keys to the kingdom. How'd she win that race?
Blake Shin, that's how.
I thought I was gone. She flopped out of the gates. I was like, fucking tear up your tickets, boys. But nah, she came in like a freight train. Oh,
that was sensation.
What a way to finish the day.
It was. But Shuka has asked a question.
Who?
Shuka. New listener. Does the run by Daft Cabin get him an Everest slot? Godolphin's in all sorts, I think.
Listen to me, Shuka. There's 2 horses I'd rather take more than Daft Cabin. Off the top of my head, that ran yesterday in an Everest for Godolphin. Red Card, who beat him home. And fucking Silmarillion. Like, based on that.
I've kind of made a little bit of a shortlist for Godolphin for their Everest contenders.
Is it dross reading?
It's pretty dross. Spacewalk. Barber. Inhibitions.
Kalos?
Kalos is, getting into the serious ones here. Daft Cabin.
Daft Cabin.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, that's funny. Good from you. It's like when it's like first comment. Like if you I don't know if any of you guys watch live streaming on like YouTube or Twitch or whatever, drifters, but like chatters come in and they type stuff and like you've got to make the first ever thing that you put in the chat an absolute banger because that's how you set the tone for yourself. So Shuka, you've really set the tone. You really set the tone. And I'm expecting something similar from you every week now. This is a direct call to you, mate. Come on, Shuka.
And I think the 2 at the top of the tree for me are Corniche. Here's the forgotten one.
Corn Cob.
I
forgot about that horse. Anyway.
Corniche, and I think number 1 seed is Traffic Warden.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Run to the Rose, Golden Rose, back to the Everest?
I think Godolphin are astute enough, and they've thrown 3-year-olds into the race previous, where they've been like,
"That's my belly."
Oh, I thought that was your guts.
My belly, my guts. Yeah,
right. I think, I reckon they might sense that it's a winnable year for a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Traffic Warden's got some talent.
And the good thing about him is he'll put himself into the race. And what do the 3-year-olds get in the Everest? 52 kilos?
I think so.
The Colts? Yeah. I reckon he'd have to be the number one seed, and if he doesn't run well in the run to the Rose and then the Golden Rose, dire straits for Godolphin, which is unusual for them.
They've had it previous though, because I think because they didn't take Paul Ailey one year, they took the other one.
Trekking? No, not trekking.
No,
it was gelding.
Ingratiating.
Yeah, that's right.
And he ran Stone Motherless.
He really did.
They took Kementari one year.
They really did.
See, Godolphin have it in them. They go from Osborne Bulls to Kementari in the space of like a year or two.
Mm.
They're hot and cold one year. They're hot one year, cold the next.
Yes. Yeah, well, their best chance recently has been in Secret, but she just wasn't right from post Newmarket win. She wasn't right.
No, well, we saw her in Brisbane. She looked so dross, and she ran super, but then she retired. So
had the world at her feet, but just didn't really. Post her 3-year-old season, I don't think she was quite right.
More a comment than anything. You knew it was all over when Benny Scarf backed Daft Cabin.
Oh, it's Benny Scarf. Oh, you did tell me that. Or was it Jess Mitchell who told me that? I can't remember.
I think Jess Mitchell said that. That is 8th. That's a tough watch when you have probably 9 large on.
Yeah.
Beaten close to 4 lengths.
What Benny should do is take a leaf out of another astute punter's book and not bet until the race actually started.
Oh, my God. Some of the best I've seen. Unbelievable. Dame Phillips. Bella's run was sensational. I have a ticket for $51 in the Everest and I can't wait. Do you think I'm a chance? Yeah.
She's more consistent than most of them.
I wish I had that ticket.
I wish I did too.
Yeah. Because, hey, who's the better wet tracker, Bella or I wish I win?
Well, I'm starting to think, the more I watch I Wish I Win, the more I'm starting to think that TJ Smith victory over Giga Kick was an outlier for him.
Why do you say that?
Because nothing else could have beat Giga Kick that day. And I think if you run that race another 100 times, then Giga Kick wins it 90-something times. I think I Wish I Win just ran out of his skin that day, and it's the best he's ever ran. I don't think he's raced. He's been super consistent. Like, bro places literally 90% of the time, and he runs in Group 1s pretty much every time. But I think that was just like almost like a Bella Nipotina when she won the Manikato that day type performance, where like it's the peak of their career, and they'll never do that ever again. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to win races, because even a length below that still is good enough to win a lot of Group 1s. That's what I think about I Wish I Win.
Yeah, okay.
I think he's a phenomenal horse. I'm a fan. But I don't think he'll ever recapture that exact run that he did that day in the TJ, where he beat home Giga Kick.
I think with I Wish I Win as well, and this is a typical of a Moody horse. He's a bit of a globetrotter. I Wish I Win. He goes everywhere. Races Moonee Valley, Flemington, Caulfield,
Up here.
And I think his best racing though is in Sydney. I think he loves his Sydney leg. I don't think he really appreciates his Melbourne leg as much. Like his debut run was in Melbourne, and he beat an absolute field of zebras. Les Zebras. Beat him by 6 lengths.
Yeah, that was one of the great plunges.
Yeah. But at the elite level, I think he appreciates it more, and he's kind of shown in a Golden Eagle, a TJ. What do you win? Do you win a Kingston Smith or a 10,000?
He won the Kingston Smith, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my opinion anyway. But yeah, Bella.
Oh, I'd love to have that ticket.
Private Eye. Drifted out to $11. Now, who would have said that during the week? $6. Utter madness.
Utter madness. Backable at $11.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Like if someone said to you, "Oh, would you have to take $11 at Private Eye?" Would you turn your nose up at it? Probably not.
Do I rate him like what's that, a 10 or 9% chance to win the race in those circumstances? No.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm also rated him like a 5 to 2.5%, which is why I quoted 40 to 1 on the podcast. Like, that's where my mind went to. It's like, in these circumstances against this field, I don't think he can win the race.
Thing is, like, Giga Kick jumped to what, like $5?
Yep.
So Giga Kick's better than Private Eye, despite the 12-month layoff, and they probably have similar racing patterns. So, yeah, will Private Eye get an Everest slot? Oh, he has to win his next start,
Which he definitely can.
which he can.
There's Everest. I think we might do that on Wednesday. We might do a phantom Everest draw, because I was actually looking at this as you were walking in here, like who the slot holders are. Might even ask the drifters put theirs up. We might put up posts, see what you reckon. But Irish Shall Win and Bustling have the slots at the moment. So the slot holders this year are Newgate. So Newgate and GPI Racing, they took Think About It last year. Chris Waller Racing, he took Espiona last year as a very late pick because they were hoping for Zugotcha. The Australian Turf Club, they took Overpass last year. Coolmore, they had Shinzo. John Camilleri, that is a new slot holder this year.
He'll have Sunshine in Paris.
There you go. James Harron Bloodstock, they had Cylinder last year. They did have Giga Kick, but then they had to make alternative operations, maybe. Max Whitby, Neil Werrett and Cole Madden have Bustling. Last year they had Private Eye. Team Green. They had Bjornos Notchez last year.
But Buenos noches.
After he had that sensational debut win in the spring.
Yes.
But he was beating up on some absolute dross
Absolute
fields.
zebras.
The Star and Arrow Field, they had Marzu last year, locked him into 2 years, probably a bit prematurely. They got one good year out of him.
They did. They were just praying for rain. They were doing the rain dance for an entire 2-year period.
Yulong Investments and then Godolphin. So Yulong had alcohol-free last year. I saw a TikTok before about like most over or thieves in like the AFL contracts at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like, who are the biggest racing thieves? And I think alcohol-free has to be top of the list.
Yeah. They get a lot wrong, Yulong.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
Yeah, but
when you got the cash to splash,
yeah,
they're starting to make some waves.
they are. And then Godolphin had in secret. So, yeah, there's only the one change. That's John Camilleri in for Aquis. So, Sunshine in Paris, you reckon? Okay.
They're his silks, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So she trialled up.
What, he's not going to take Argentia?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Any other highlights here? I was having a look here. Yeah, that was about it. Buckaroo.
Yeah, Buckaroo.
That was cheeky of you.
Yeah, well, I was like, I'm going to get on Zardozi, and I didn't put the bet on because I thought she'd drift a little bit. And then just before the jump, I saw Buckaroo was like $8 or something with the good people at Neds, and I was like, I'd much rather bet on that.
Smart betting. And you know what we learnt about Zardozi yesterday is she ran super in the Wink Stakes on a good 4, beaten 2.5 lengths. She's a stayer that needed the ground, I'd say. But what we learned is now she's 8 starts for 1 win on good, 2 seconds and a third, where she's got 7 starts on rain-affected ground for 5 wins. So,
oh, really?
I think she might appreciate.
Bit of cut.
She reminds me a bit of Colette, a little bit.
Yeah, good call.
So, and which is why I actually think they're going to go to a Golden Eagle.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like, I think Godolphin are so smart. They're like, I just think a Cups campaign for an early season 4-year-old mare, she's going to be up against it.
You got to be phenomenal to do it. Like, you got to be up there with the best. Do we end up checking when VE won it when she was 4 or 5?
Oh, let me look that up for you, mate. Just give me 2 seconds.
No, you're right. How are you, drifters? What's going on? You know, I hope you had a good day on the punt. You know, there was opportunities there, definitely. Like Hutcho said, if you identified the track pattern, Sydney early, you know, probably would have had a good day. But, you know.
She was a 7-year-old mare, BE.
When she won the Caulfield Cup.
Oh, sorry. Well, she won the Melbourne Cup in 2021. She won the Caulfield in 2020?
2019, I think.
2019. Okay, so it'd be either 6 or 5. 5 or 6.
5 would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Anthony Van Dyke. May he rest in peace.
Not Hugh's best ride. It was a pronounced run.
It was gate 21 or 21, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
The writing was on the wall there,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Visitor's draw. Yeah. Royal Patronage was a nice run.
Oh, yeah, Millie's Jewel.
Millie's Jewel.
I think, all things considered, that was a great return for her.
Yeah.
She wants a mile.
Yeah, well, that 7 stakes is going to be good. Last year we saw it be on pace dominated, I think that entire meeting, to be honest, and that's where Think It Over won that race and Fangirl was zooming home.
Yeah.
So I think you'd definitely see Fangirl there and you won't see Via Sustina there. I'd say Zugotra will probably go there as well.
Yep.
So Amelia's Jewel to go, we'll actually see how she measures up against probably one of the best milers in the country, Fangirl.
Yeah. Yep.
And what Anna Bonician was saying on radio yesterday morning was she needs it rock hard. She doesn't appreciate any cut in the ground. So
Typical for a Western Australian product.
Yeah. Kovalika was a nice little turn.
See, he's been nominated for the Melbourne Cup.
I did see that.
Interesting.
Yeah, fast horses over. Yeah, they do go well, don't they? When they're prepared right. I'm not sure. Oh, the other one. The 3-year-old fillies in the...
of course.
The Furious Stakes. Manaal got a little punting lesson there. Over Amina. Clearly the two that you want to take out of it. But again, very top line level, like times and figures. Like they're only going 1.5 lengths quicker than the likes of the, I think it was the Highway over the same distance. And then they're basically the same figures as the benchmark 78 in the last.
I said to you, Autumn Glow has 1 hoof on that Flight Stakes trophy already. She might even have 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the alternative form references that I want to take into that Flight Stakes. There's Autumn Glow, obviously. The other one's Drifting.
Yeah.
And our stable representative for Peter Snowden, Josh Buttonshaw. Scratch for another day, barrier 13 to 13 was not ideal, which I can understand.
I can completely understand that. I think she would have won the race, though, because she would have led.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Drifting, Autumn Glow. I said to you yesterday, look, I'd had a couple of goldies by this point. I reckon she can run a Cox Plate.
Autumn Glow.
Yeah, I think she's very good. I think she's really, really good. If she's doing that over 1,300 metres by the Autumn Sun, you said her action is identical to her daddy's, and it is. I had a look last night. It is.
It's... how good was Tass?
He was so good. Wish he stuck around a bit longer, but he didn't need to.
8 starts.
Yep.
Like for a horse that only had, what's that, 2 preparations?
Yeah. Did some damage.
Maybe 3.
He did some damage.
Like...
Well, it'd be 3 preps because he run a JJ and then he would have been let up, came back for the spring, ran in the autumn.
For a horse to have that many starts and we're still talking about him. That's why horse racing is so great, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
Like flash in the pans, but then you can have a legacy.
Yep.
On and off the track.
Yep. Yeah.
Broken penis or not.
Broken penis, boy. Like Craig was talking about exactly what you said. Like his value is just going to skyrocket.
100%, mate. Like, yeah. Especially if he gets like not only the late season 3-year-old features, but if he gets a couple of like early season ones.
Flight Stakes.
My goodness. Some of the figures that Craig was throwing around for Zugoch's value yesterday. Huh? Multiple million. Of course she would be, but 5 million?
What was Imperatriz? 5, 6, 7?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think because Zoostar is just through the roof at the moment. Miss Arias by Zoostar. His fillies are doing some damage. Growing Empire is by Zoostar.
Yeah, right.
So he's doing some real damage.
So I'm just having a look through this this Golden Slipper results, right?
Yep.
How many of these do you reckon get a start in the Everest? Maybe Lady Camelot, Coleman, Stormboy, Traffic Warden, Manaal, Straight Charge. Probably hard for you long, but it's a good second option. If something happens to what's that horse's name?
Growing Empire.
Yep. Anisa, Switzerland, Homes of Court, and then Bodyguard down the bottom here, and then something like Hayasugi as well. Like,
I think if you're looking at that field, the one I'd probably be most confident is going to get a slot is Switzerland because he's a Coolmore horse.
So your team's Switzerland over Stormboy.
I think so in this circumstance. I think Stormboy obviously will be in the Run to the Rose and then he'll go to the Golden Rose. If he wins that, and Switzerland, comes storming home, like you'd probably send Stormboy down to the Guineas, and Switzerland's not a 1,600 metre horse, whereas Stormboy could be. I hope he wins the Golden Rose because that's phenomenal. They're talking about Cox Play for that horse. I look at him, I'm like, I don't know. The very definition of a sprinter, I think of it. I look at Stormboy, I'm like, you look like one. And if he can stretch out, just like Piero vibes.
Oh, think about it, vibes.
He's got it in him, Jack. He's got it in him. He has it in him. But he also, do you know what else he has in him? Like a real hot streak.
Yeah, mate.
Like a real hot streak.
And a massive widow's peak.
The most pronounced widow's peak I've ever seen in my life.
Like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the wash-up is because knowing Jack, he'll probably go like, actually, Jay, that ride wasn't good enough, mate. You're off on the weekend. I wouldn't put it past him.
He has a history.
Points the finger at everyone else except himself, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack.
Has that in him.
He sure does.
Makybe Divas next weekend. Let's have a quick look at that market, hey? I'd say it'd be Mr. B.
Via Sistina.
Oh, hello. Futures markets. Makybe Diva Stakes. Via Sistina 230. Mr. Brightside 5s. Riff Rocket 7s. Antino. Pride of Jenny 10s.
Jesus. I did venture on to Twitter yesterday, I think. And geez, Tony was not happy with some remarks on SEN radio.
No. I think I might have
Twitter wars.
There was
tell you what, he's starting bloody World War III.
Mate, he has a lot of haters, Tony. I did bookmark that post actually. Very disappointing that SEN allows haters to have a voice. Shame on you, SEN. That's off the back of Miles. Forget his name, but Miles doesn't think that Pride of Jenny will win a race for the spring. That's haters.
That's a valid opinion to have.
I think so, especially when it is a game of opinion. And that's like some of the lifeblood of the industry.
Yeah,
like great minds. They're just opinions.
Great minds. They're a hive mind. I can tip the same thing every time.
And then Josh Nelms. I'm trying to find that saying. You can have a go at my family / partner, etc., but you can't, whatever you do, don't ever criticize my horse. It's so bizarre. And then there was some choice words by the Alligator Blood Owner 2.0.
Yep.
He's deleted his account apparently, Tony.
Has he?
Yeah. LMAO. He's the biggest cat on this app. He dishes it out, but he can't take it back. He's blocked me ages ago because he doesn't like the truth. He's the biggest bitch on Twitter. He doesn't understand. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. Yeah.
Everyone is entitled to an opinion, Tony. I wouldn't be calling you a bitch, but look, I think if you're going to be all high and mighty when your horse is winning,
yeah, you got to take it.
You got to take a hit when she's not.
Yeah. So $10 though. That's getting
$10. That's a very backable price.
Yeah, it is. At Flemington for her.
Oh,
as
absolutely.
Well. Yeah.
For her to bounce back, yeah.
If she's going there. Pinstriped, Warmonger, a tissue, 15s.
Flemington horse.
Yeah. Buckaroo, Kovalika, Lady Laguna. Yeah, you can pretty much have the rest, but interesting. V16 is going to be awfully hard to beat, but yeah.
Yep.
It's a nice little field.
Yeah, it is a good field. Onwards and upwards, I'd say. Towards the Cox Plate. Cannot wait.
All right. Well, I did give you some homework for the Sunday review podcast for this week about a tipping competition.
Yes, the tipping comp drifters. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to do it just via a website. You basically will need to sign up. I'm going to get all that sorted this week so that you can sign up well and truly before we're starting the tipping comp, which is going to be on the 27th of September, which is the Manikato. So that's going to be on a Friday night. So you start seeing some more posts and links and all that sort of stuff coming out to sign up. Basically, you just need to, each week, you'll probably set a cutoff date, I would imagine, Friday afternoon. You'll need to put in your tips via the website for each of the Group 1s. I think it's something like over the 6-week period, there's like 30 Group 1s, something like that. So we're including the Everest and everything. So it's not actually going to be that much work for you guys. Prize money, we're going to put up the prize money, guys. Well, technically, the good people at Ned's are going to be putting up the prize money to fund the tipping comp. So it's going to be free to enter, because we want to have as many drifters as possible getting involved, and you've got to save your money to use on the Neds app to reimburse effectively.
I have a question.
Yes.
How much money are us and the good people at Ned's putting forward?
Well, look, I'm yet to determine that, but I think it's going to be something very attractive. I think it's going to be probably 4 figures.
I think it's 4 figures.
I think it's going to be 4 figures.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Yeah, 4 figures for the winner. Do we hand out cash to minor placings? Yet to be determined.
Yeah.
That's not how I operate. Is that how you operate?
I used to be an each way better, but not anymore.
Yeah. So I think it's just going to be winner takes all. May the best man or woman win. So yeah, exciting stuff. More to come. And yeah, I think we're going to get a few applications. And the only thing that needs to be determined, drifters, from my side, is how are we going to hand out points? Is it just going to be a simple 3-2-1 system? Are we going to incorporate odds and bonus points? Not 100% sure.
Yeah. Do we want to incorporate odds? We're happy to be collaborative, but ultimately we'll make the decision here. But we might put out some polls or something.
Yeah.
It's like, if you would enter a tipping comp that, we're basically gifting the winner.
Yeah.
Basically the best prize of all time.
Which is cash.
Yeah. And do you want odds to be included in that, or do you just want to be like a favourite basher? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think, if we can encourage drifters to bet on something that they've got a bit of a gut feel about, and they're happy to take a risk on like a $10 pop, as opposed to, Via Sistina this weekend, who inevitably will be $2 something. If we can encourage that, then I think we should.
Yeah, okay. So more than likely, you're going to be double points,
I'd say,
for double figures,
Yep.
double figure winners.
Yeah.
Not double figure placings.
No.
Doesn't work like that.
No.
But yeah, we'll determine that. But we'll basically, if we have like a couple of weeks in the lead up to get those submissions in, time's fading away quick, mate, as I kind of kicked this podcast off with.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So that will all start in a couple of weeks. So everything will be up and running well and truly prior to that first Group 1 of the tipping comp, which will be the Manikato on the 27th of September.
Well, what are you doing for the rest of today?
Might pop over to see the Rents. Haven't seen them since they got back from their trip overseas. Otherwise, mate, probably chill. Go for a run this afternoon, maybe.
Good for you,
cools
buddy.
down a little bit. What about you?
Might watch the replay of the Lions versus Carlton again.
Weird game.
It was, but I'm of the opinion that they just went into self-preservation mode when they got 10 goals up to nothing.
Yeah, I think so.
So, sure, it might have read 28 points, but they basically stopped playing the game.
Yeah.
And they let in 3 goals late. So I'm treating it as like a pretty dominant win.
Look, they lost the second half 39 to 70 something.
Yeah.
And it's like, they were basically, it was a park run for them.
And they still won by 5 goals. So
And they missed a couple of real basic ones.
Gita, oh my God, top of the square, Logan Morris.
Come on, Logan.
Crazy. Yeah, that was tough watching during the third quarter. That was tough. But GWS is going to be much tougher next week. But if they kick straight against them about 4 or 5 weeks ago, they would have belted them. So I think Jack Payne's the big one.
Yeah.
He was playing so well.
Yeah.
Because with all due respect, Darren Joyce, you're not Jack Payne, bruh. No. So yeah, fingers crossed. He's back in. But yeah, they could definitely make a charge, the Lions. But if they don't, from where they were, I think they're doing all right.
So be it.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of young talent coming through for a club that's been good for the last 5 years.
Exactly right. Levi, it'll be great to have you next year, mate. Hope you're a horse racing fan. All right. We'll see you Wednesday.
Thanks, Drifters. See ya.